Welcome to the Community Services Connection Podcast, an informative podcast for those who live, work, and play in our paradise. We're covering everything from recreation and pools, libraries and history, parks and natural resources, and the UF-IFAS Extension Office of Charlotte County. I'm your host, Arianna and on this episode, I have the pleasure of having Arianna and Tianna and Paul on the podcast, and we're talking about our Youth Volleyball Clinic here in Charlotte County. Now, what may blow your mind is that Arianna and Tianna are 14 and 15 years old, and they are two of our coaches here for the Youth Volleyball Clinic. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for joining me on the podcast.
Well, thanks for having us. Just want to introduce myself. I'll start off. I'm Paul. I'm the recreation specialist here at Harold Avenue, and I helped to get this program started, and the girls have come in and done a great job leading it now.
I'm Tianna. I am one of the coaches for the volleyball.
Hi, I'm Arianna, and I am also one of the coaches, and I am the older of the two coaches.
The older of the two at 15 years old.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. How did you get into this, and what made you want to give back to our community at such a young age?
So I started off playing volleyball really, really young, and I started with the team of girls that did not really like me and I didn't get along with. So when I got older and I got back into the sport, I fell in love with it again, and I just wanted to create that feeling for newcomers and people who wanted to try the sport but maybe were a little hesitant at first.
Yeah, some people get nervous like me when trying new things, so I want them to be as comfortable as possible, and it might not be of their best interest to go try out for a school team right away, so this is one way that they could come and practice their skills.
And this is the perfect setting because it's no commitment to a team. It's $2, drop in. You can come whenever it's convenient for you and kind of just learn some new skills. Would you say this is a good program for somebody who's never played volleyball before?
Absolutely, I would say it is, especially when you start off and you don't want to join a school team. When I saw every now and then, I would see girls come in to tryouts and they've never done a sport and they're like, I just want to try it out. I'm like, well, some sports are a lot hard to get into, so it kind of just depends. So trying it out first on not as hard as the level is just an easier way to get used to the sport and to see if you even really like it.
And when is this program offered? Is it twice a week, once a week?
Okay, so right now this program is a year-round program just because it's really popular, and we're meeting on Fridays and Saturdays from 6 to 8 p.m. at Harold Avenue Regional Park, which is at 23400 Harold Avenue here in Port Charlotte.
Tell me about some of the participants that come. Is it mostly girls? Is it co-ed? What is the age group?
Well, this is a co-ed program. We have a mixture of boys and girls that come to this program. I will be honest and say there are mostly girls, and volleyball just is popular with girls at this age. The age that we're seeing mostly coming is ages 12 to 15, and we're getting about between 10 to 25 participants a day.
Wow.
They're all skill levels and all experience levels, so don't be afraid to try it if you're new at this.
So if somebody's brand new and they're walking through the door for the first time, what can they expect to learn? Obviously, we're probably not scrimmaging on the first time they're here, right?
Well, we have a younger coach and an older coach. We'll split them up sometimes, but they should learn the basics like passing and serving, things like that, which are easier for them to learn at first.
And we like to do this, it's a 2-hour program, so we like to break it up as skills and drills the first hour, and then the second hour we'll break up into teams and we'll play a game till the program ends, and it's just a fun way to finish up the evening.
It seems like a lot of fun. What's some of the feedback that you've gotten from parents and players who are maybe brand new to the sport?
Well, we do regular surveys here, and so from the surveys that I'm looking at, most everybody's really enjoyed this program. The parents, the kids both say they really enjoy it. They say that the staff expectations meets their needs and the facility meets their needs. So right now, this program is just hitting the right spot.
And you said it's one of the most popular programs here. Is it one of the more popular programs in Charlotte County, do you know?
I don't know, but as for here, it is popular. We just get steady numbers, and everybody seems to come back and they enjoy the program.
That's great. Is it just the three of you who are coaching, or do you have additional coaches on staff?
We do have some additional coaches on staff. I would want to acknowledge Susan Frost, who used to coach high school volleyball, and now she's retired and wanting to help out with some of the younger girls here. And then another coach is Brooklyn Sharp, who runs a Miracle Travel team, and she also has contributed by helping some of the more advanced girls.
We're teaching players from some really experienced coaches, it sounds like. It sounds like everybody brings a lot to the table.
Yeah, everybody has their own style, and the participants are drawn to these different styles. You know, some younger girls might enjoy working with Tianna and Arianna because they are young like them. And some older players may enjoy, working with like Brooklyn Sharp, who has some experience with travel team and competitive games.
Now, I know that you do a monthly newsletter. I get it myself in my inbox, but what are some of the other highlights of the program? For anybody who's listening, what do you want them to know?
Well, like you said, the monthly newsletter is just different photos that I take throughout the season, and I'll just try to highlight what we do. It's just a fun way to get participants' pictures out there, and it'll generate some interest that way, keep parents informed on what's going on. We also have end-of-season parties, which Arianna and Tianna are really good at coordinating. It's just creative ways of getting people to compete in small, fun games, and it's always fun to see what they come up with.
And you also do 3-on-3 tournaments.
Yeah, so we just recently had 3-on-3 tournaments in a row, and they actually were really successful. We ended up with the maximum of 24 participants for 2 out of the 3 tournaments, which is really good. The tournaments were very closely contested because we made even teams. We actually were able to involve younger and older kids together. We, instead of using a serve, we ended up doing an underhand toss for the start of every play. And that actually was able to involve the younger kids on the level of the older kids.
I'm sure some of the older kids or some of the younger kids look at the older kids like mentors. Like that's where, that's a level of play that I want to be at someday.
Yes. I also see a lot of nervousness because sometimes also parents get more excited than their kids. I've had some moms come up to me and they go, "Can't she work with you guys? We work with the older girls. I think it will be better for her," and we do allow it. But sometimes it is just like maybe we have to slow it down and make it so that everyone is comfortable and we're not stressing anyone out.
Yeah, it can be intimidating with a new sport, and then playing with some older players who are so much more experienced than you. It can definitely be intimidating. What would you want to say to those players who are maybe a little bit nervous about joining?
What I would say is everyone starts there. They were not that good at the start unless they're really gifted. So just don't be nervous, because I was nervous, and all it does is it gets you inside your head to make more mistakes.
Have you heard from any participants who have been through the program, who have success stories? Maybe they made like their high school or middle school team. Have you heard from any of those players?
Yeah, so I just wanted to mention that in one of our newsletters, we did acknowledge a group of students who came to this program and they ended up making their school team. So we had 3 that made their JV team that did a few classes here, and then we had a group of 4 or 5 that made the varsity team. So that was actually a nice outcome from them attending this program.
That's great. You don't even have to come to the, every Friday and Saturday. You can just drop in, brush up on your skills before tryouts, and hopefully make the team. And we're here to help you do that.
Yes, so when we started, I think we had a few people that were interested in teams to be like, hey, I'm going to try out for this team, any advice? And during that time of trials especially, we had worked on very heavy club drills or school drills, so that included intenser workouts. And that, of course, we didn't put the little kids through that. But for the older girls or boys that wanted to try out for teams, it was a little bit harder drills and intensive workouts so that they could get used to the idea of playing on teams as well.
Where do you see this program going in the future? It seems like we're growing every day with participants. So do you think that this program is going to expand?
Well, that's our goal. We really want it to expand. We do have 2 gyms here, and we have days that we can use for this program if there is a need for it. I could see this program growing into having more regular tournaments. We could also, if we have a lot more people, do a small league. So one thing that we're also looking at this year is starting a volleyball officials clinic. It might be like a 1, 2, or 3 day kind of thing where we work with a local sports officials association, and we want to just try to train up some community members to be able to referee a game.
Is there anything else that you want the community to know about the Youth Volleyball Clinic and program here at Harold Avenue Regional Park?
Yeah, so one thing I wanted to mention that I didn't mention before was some of our players have gotten pretty good after a while. So when this happens, I'll reach out to some local coaches from schools and travel teams, and I'll try to set up scrimmages. And so we'll actually have some games, and we actually have T-shirts made up for anybody that makes these teams. So those are ready to be used.
Well, Paul, Arianna, Tianna, thank you so much for joining me today. If you're listening and you're on the fence about joining the volleyball clinic here, come on, get up, get out, get active, and come visit. We'll let people come in and see what's going on, right? On a Friday or Saturday night, maybe come try it out.
Yeah, definitely come out. We want to see new faces here, and we want our program to grow. So just check us out.
And this will not be the last time that we talk about youth volleyball on this podcast. Paul, tell them a little bit about some of the things we're going to talk about next time.
So next time, we're hoping to bring back Tianna and Arianna, and they have some experience trying out for teams and playing for teams. And so they're going to try to talk about what does it take to make a school team or a travel team, what kind of things you need to work on to make the team, and some of the challenges, because it's not always easy to make a team. And so they're going to talk about this, and hopefully that'll get you prepped up for that.
Awesome. Thank you for listening. This is the Community Services Connection podcast.